In the hidden valleys of the Himalayas, a small kingdom stood alone, proud, mysterious, untouched by time. This was Bhutan, the land of the Thunder Dragon. And in 1865, it faced the full might of the British Empire. This is the story of Bhutan's last stand against an unstoppable force, a story most of the world has never heard. Welcome to What Happened, where we unravel the greatest moments in history, one country at a time. And for our 27th chapter, we are exploring the Battle of Dalingkot. Bhutan, a kingdom of high mountain passes, sacred monasteries, and unshakable warriors. For centuries, it remained isolated from the outside world, ruled by the dual system of spiritual and temporal leadership. But while Bhutan looked inward, the British East India Company looked north and saw opportunity. Below the Himalayas stretched the Dwars, a lush, fertile belt of forest and river plains. Bhutan had controlled these lands for generations, collecting taxes and guarding trade routes. But to the British, these plains were more than just farmland. They were a bridge, a way to access the Himalayas and secure the northeastern frontier of India. Tensions had been brewing for years: border raids, broken agreements, missing envoys. Then in 1864, the British sent a diplomatic mission to Bhutan, demanding negotiations. Bhutan's answer? They seized the delegation, stripped them of their dignity, and sent them back. That was it. The British declared war. In the winter of 1864, British regiments marched into Bhutanese territory with rifles, cannons, and colonial confidence. They expected an easy victory. They were wrong. Bhutan's warriors, though outgunned and outnumbered, knew their land better than anyone. They fought from the shadows of the forest, using guerrilla tactics, ambushes, and the brutal terrain itself as a weapon. At the center of this resistance stood Dalingkot Fort, a stronghold nestled in the hills, guarding Bhutan's gateway to the south. British forces launched assault after assault, but the Bhutanese held firm, led by fierce commanders like the Penlop of Paro. Their weapons were outdated: matchlocks, spears, even bows, but their spirit was unmatched. Smoke filled the mountain air as British cannons thundered through the valleys. Bhutanese fighters charged from hidden paths, using every rock and tree as cover. For weeks, the fort held strong, until finally, the sheer force of British firepower broke through. Dalingkot fell. By early 1865, Bhutan had lost key territory. With heavy hearts, the kingdom signed a treaty of Sinchula. It surrendered the Dwars and agreed to a British stipend in return for peace. But here's what makes this story unforgettable. Despite losing the war, Bhutan never lost its independence. It was one of the only nations in South Asia to resist complete colonization. Instead of opening up to imperial influence, Bhutan turned inward, strengthening its traditions, isolating its borders, and preserving its identity. To this day, Bhutan remains one of the most culturally intact nations on Earth. It measures success not in wealth or power, but in gross national happiness. Because Bhutan's greatest victory wasn't on the battlefield. It was survival. A tiny mountain kingdom, surrounded by empires, faced invasion and refused to be erased. The Battle of Dalingkot may have ended in surrender, but Bhutan's legacy is one of unshakable pride, quiet strength, and the courage to remain different. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more hidden stories from around the world. Because sometimes the smallest nations hold the biggest legends.